Starting in May, band directors Brad and Brian Cooperman began settling on the theme for this year's Marching Huskies halftime show. After months of back and forth, the brothers decided to tribute one of the most influential bands of all time, the Beatles, and started to get to work.
We have talked about doing a Beatles show for several years, but we just weren't sure how to go about it and what songs to pick because there's so many songs. And it's also really easy when you do like a pop show or a rock show for it to be kind of generic. And we're very worried about making a boring show that the audience won't like. So it took us a while to kind of settle in and decide how we were going to go about it.
January, February, we started talking about it and throwing out ideas. March, we start listening to music, I would say. And then usually by the end of March, we go, we have an idea, and we sit on it for a week, and then one of us comes in and says, we don't like that anymore. We are typically hitting May and going, all right, we need to actually settle on one of the 10 ideas we threw out. And that's sort of where it goes from January until May.
There are 3 movements, and we do Hey Jude for a little bit at the beginning, and then mostly Eleanor Rigby. Then we do a little bit of Blackbird and Yesterday. And then we end with Come Together, and then we cap it off with Hey Jude again. So we have a drill writer who we give the music to, and we let him know how many people are in each section and how big the band is. And then we talk with the drill writer about what we're looking for, and then he will write the drill. The drill is like where they go on the field. He'll write the drill and send it to us, and then if we have comments and we want to change something, we can always send it back and say, can you do this or can you do that, and change and tweak little things.
Typically we're going to work on fundamentals for the first little bit, whether it's how to march, because even though we semi know how to march at the beginning of the season, we try and keep up with that to progress that throughout the season. Majority of the practice though is spent on either putting the drill on the field, so finding our spots and getting that marked, and then working backwards and going sort of basically one formation to another to learn those transitions. And then once we have either the entirety of the show on the field or a movement or big chunks, we start piecing that together. The biggest takeaway from marching season, I think, is just that the fact that all the students are together. When we're in class, we're separated in 4 different classes throughout the day. So not everyone gets to work with each other, we're all playing different music. But this is the time of the year where everyone's playing the exact same thing. Everyone's working towards the same goal of putting an entertaining show on the field. So there's a lot of camaraderie within the entire band program rather than just each individual class.
In order to help keep practices running smoothly, the drum majors work together to keep time for the band, maintain organization, and develop a bond with the ensemble.
I'm there to help people. Overall, my job is to make the life easy for everybody, and so we can have an effective show for the whole year. Our call time is usually around 4:30, and so I get here around 4-ish. I go out to the shed by the practice field, I grab my podium, I drag it all the way to the game field so we can do a full run through. 4:30 comes around, then we go get dressed, we go to the game, come back, put our stuff away, then we leave. That's basically it. We usually have a good 45 minutes like getting dressed because there's just so many things that need to happen. So you just always have to be ready and be prepared. Circumstances that we've been put in this year have been really great due to the weather that we've experienced during our rehearsals and stuff. But I think our groups handled the adversity really well. You really do develop a sense of community. I've probably seen the 3 drum majors more than I've seen my family in the past quarter, just because of how often we're together and how much time we have to spend with each other outside of school, rehearsals, and class. The amount of time that I see them really does help build that community and help build those friendships that can last forever.